In order to spread the virus, she actually licked every single donut in the delivery box. But after eating them, the customers didn't get angry. Instead, they were overjoyed, because this virus doesn't cause pain or death. On the contrary, it gives people a euphoric sensation as if entering a paradise of bliss. To spread this pleasure to others, those infected voluntarily formed an assembly line. They began mass collecting virus samples from their own bodies and smearing them inside cups, preparing to ship them out in bulk to infect everyone in the world. You have to know this virus can spread through nothing more than saliva, and since every infected person automatically joins the group that infects others, the number of infections grows exponentially. In just one day, the entire world fell to the virus. But strangely, there was one woman who wasn't infected. She walked into a bar and saw the bartender standing still, twitching uncontrollably. As she went further inside, she found that everyone was trapped in the same uncontrollable state. Amy was terrified. She rushed to the counter trying to grab the phone, but the bartender's muscles were so tense that he wouldn't let go of it no matter how hard she pulled. After finally yanking the phone free, Amy immediately dialed the police, but no one answered. All she heard was a repeating robotic message. When Amy ran to the door, she found that her best friend had already collapsed, just like everyone else in the bar. With no other choice, she drove her unconscious friend to a hospital downtown. But when Amy arrived at the hospital, she was stunned. The scene there was almost identical to the bar. People were either lying on the ground or standing frozen in place, all twitching uncontrollably. She shouted for the doctors to wake up, saying there was a patient who needed help. But no matter how loudly she called, no one responded. Even worse, the baby in a woman's arms had become just like the rest of them. Amy had no choice but to try performing CPR on her friend herself, but no matter how hard she tried, it was all in vain. Now Amy was completely in despair. She couldn't understand what had happened to everyone in the city, but when she lifted her head again, she was shocked to see that all the twitching people had suddenly stood up. They were moving out into the streets like walking corpses, all except for her friend, who remained unconscious. Amy tried to ask a doctor what was going on, but when the doctor turned around, he looked at her in confusion as if wondering why Amy hadn't been infected. The next second, the doctor leaned in to kiss her, trying to transmit the virus. Amy screamed and shoved him away. These people were completely insane. When a few others tried to carry her friend away, Amy shouted at them to stop.
You put her down! Put her down! What the hell is wrong with you people?
This was madness. Panicking, Amy jumped into her car and sped off as fast as she could. Now it seemed that everyone in the city had fallen. Wherever she went, people stared at her endlessly. With nowhere else to go, she drove back home. But when she reached her door, she realized in her panic that she had lost her keys. Amy picked up a rock and started smashing the door. Just then, a kind neighbor called out a few words to her.
There's a spare key. Remember April 2016? You put a spare key under the flower pot. The one on the right.
Amy turned to look, and sure enough, there was a spare key hidden under the flower pot. The moment she got the key, she quickly carried her friend inside and locked all the doors and windows. Turning on the TV, she found that every channel had lost signal, except the news channel where the president was giving a speech. But strangely, the president's speech seemed to be directed at her, telling her to call the White House because he needed